Hi, everybody. My name is Paul B.J. Ransbury. I'm the CEO of Aviation Performance Solutions. Just a great pleasure to have this opportunity to be joining our team in Oshkosh AirVenture this year. We have VP Training Randall Brooks on the ground with Scott Firsing. We're going to go ahead and be working with them. I see they're still struggling with their connection, but they recorded a video this morning that I'm going to play. And then at the end of that video, we're going to do our best to get them in here and talk about that and answer questions. So we're going to go ahead and get that playing now. Here it comes.
Hi, Randy Brooks, the Vice President of APS Aviation Performance Solutions, coming to you live from EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2021. Here with me is North American Manager Scott Firsing. So Scott, let's talk about some of the devices that you guys are looking at. The first one, the one that we're going to be showing people, tell us what you've got for people to look at here at Oshkosh.
Yeah, this year we've got the AL172, which is one of our type specific. It's basically an exact replica of a brand new Skyhawk with real G1000 NXI.
Okay.
And yeah, this is our fifth year. We've been the first year in Oshkosh was 2017, and man, it's blown by, but it's definitely busy, that's for sure.
Great. Well, I'm going to have a chance to use that device here in just a second to show a couple of how even a simple device like that can be used for upset prevention recovery training with an instructor that knows how to use the device. Now, I'll talk about a device that we have at our headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona, at the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. It's the ALSIM ALX. And the thing that we like about that, Scott, is it's configurable to a lot of different devices. We can have it be a 172, a Seminole, but we can also have it replicate a King Air, a light jet like a Citation, a medium jet like a 737 or A320, and some other turboprop aircraft. So that's very helpful because after we fly with folks in upset prevention recovery training, we can practice that in a side-by-side environment and introduce crew resource management principles that we don't necessarily have when we're flying the Extra or the Saya Marchetti S211. And then there's another device that ALSIM is working on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the other device is the Airliner. It's our largest simulator we've ever manufactured. It is essentially a reconfigurable 737-320, really capitalizing on the sort of latest avionics and systems that you'll see in most modern jet aircraft, A220s, all the way up. So it's the sort of device that was missing from our portfolio for that last stage of sort of jet bridging before a lot of our clients have their students go off to the airlines and do a whole host of different training. And that's will be ready soon.
Very good. And part of the collaboration between APS and ALSIM is that we are helping them with some inputs on upset prevention recovery training features for that training device. So Scott, why don't we step over now? I'm going to take folks over to the 172 here, and we're going to take a look at a nose-high upset that we have pre-positioned the device for. And as I sit here, I'm able to go ahead and bring the device off of freeze, and we are above the Whitman Regional Airport. And let's go ahead and look at what we've got here. You can see that, let me flip us, we're good there. Well, you can see the PFD there. We are almost 30 degrees nose high. Airspeed is down to 41 to 42 knots. Things are not looking good for us. We can look out the side here, down at the runways, the north-south runways at Whitman. Fortunately, it's a nice blue sky day. So let's just talk about some of the considerations that we have in this upset, that we would have in any upset. We have to worry first and foremost about the stall, because we are running out of energy fast here, nose high in this situation, and so we're going to have to manage our angle of attack. And we're going to do that by an unload, and we will use the word push when we do that. Then we're going to need to orient our lift vector. Now in this case, we are only in about a 10-degree bank. It's not going to be a big correction, but it's something that we are going to need to address. And then the next thing that we're going to be concerned with is our energy, managing our energy, and we're going to use the word power for that. And in this case, the power is going to go forward. Now, we kind of have an option between roll and power in terms of our priorities. And in our particular case today, we're going to actually address power first. So we're going to say push, power, roll, and then stabilize. Stabilize is where we're going to bring the aircraft back to a normal flight envelope. So I'm going to give Scott the camera. I'm going to have him focus it forward as I bring it off freeze and exercise this nose high recovery. If you'll do the honors for us, Scott.
Yes, sir.
And face it, just go ahead and face forward.
Okay.
You'll have to go ahead and just turn the camera around, all the way around. Just kind of hold it, there we go. And here we go, coming off of freeze. All right, nose high upset, push, roll, power, stabilize. All right, pitch is set, we're 10 degrees nose high. We are climbing, our airspeed is stabilizing, and our recovery is complete. All right, now before we go ahead into our next upset, I'm going to freeze and talk about that event just a bit. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
All right, so as we saw, the first thing that we were addressing was our angle of attack. Correcting the angle of attack is primary, so we pushed. In the real aircraft, we would feel light in the seat as we did that, and so that's a correlation we make when we do on-aircraft training. And then the next thing was our power. I wanted to get that energy in to try and help the speed rollback that we were having as quickly as possible, so we went to full power. And then we rolled. There really wasn't much to correct there in terms of the bank angle, but we got the wings level, and then we were able to stabilize. So the nose dropped through the horizon as we were doing that. I didn't try to bring the nose back up as quickly as possible because we need a margin above the stall, and we don't want to have a secondary stall as we're correcting from that initial nose high situation. All right, I'm going to give the camera back to Scott. Scott, if you'll focus forward, we're going to watch a setup here, and we're going to go ahead and let it fly. And in this situation, what we're replicating is a pilot. Maybe we were flying at night instead of this situation. It would have been made worse if we were flying over Lake Winnebago where we see. Maybe we thought the autopilot, but it wasn't. It was on, but it wasn't engaged. Now you can see as my lift vector gets off of vertical, the nose is going to begin to fall. And as it gets below the horizon, as we get to 60 degrees of bank, I may get a bank angle. But we're going to take it to a drastic situation and then freeze, and we've done that. All right, I think everybody would agree that this is not a good situation to be in. We're at 99 knots, we're 20 degrees below the horizon, and we are approaching 90 degrees of bank. So let's talk about what we've got to fix here. Now our priority between roll and power have been reversed somewhat. We need to first make sure that the aircraft isn't stalled. So there's there's 4 characteristics that would be missing. We wouldn't have the stall horn going off here. We would see the nose down situation, but we don't have any buffeting. We don't have a lack of pitch authority. We don't have a lack of roll control, and we don't have an inability to arrest the rate of descent. So we're not stalled. So the reason that we're going to push here is because we need to reorient the lift vector as rapidly as possible. Just to remind you, that's where our lift vector is pointed, way off almost to the horizon. So by unloading, we're going to reduce the angle of attack, and that's going to allow us to roll as quickly as possible, and we'll be going to full control deflection on the 172 to get upright. So push, roll, power, and in this case, the power is going to come all the way back to idle, because clearly we have enough energy going downhill here. And then we're going to go ahead and stabilize. And in the 172, in the normal category, we've got 3.8 Gs. In the utility category, if it was just Scott and I on board, we'd probably be able to use up to 4.4, which is a pretty hefty pull to get the nose above the horizon. So with that, I'm going to hand the phone back to Scott to document our recovery. And we are coming off freeze, push, roll, power, and stabilize. All right, bringing the nose back up, 135 knots at the most. Now, power is coming back in, and we are going to stabilize back in our climb. And then we would check our configuration. Our gear up, flaps are up, our airplane is trimmed, and our recovery is complete. So we've gotten back to VFR altitude to 2,500. Let's go ahead and debrief that. Thank you, Scott. So in that situation, we were unloading to maximize the roll rate of the aircraft, to make sure that the dive angle didn't get any worse, and also to keep from doing an asymmetric pull. So for a lot of people, they would see the nose down and they'd say, well, there's two things we want to fix there at the same time. We want to pull the nose up and we want to roll. Well, when we do that, in addition to just bending the wings, we are also twisting them, and that can reduce the structural margin of the aircraft by up to 1/3. So what we really want to do is do an unloaded roll, get those wings level, and then we're doing a symmetrical roll where we can use all of the allotted G. And then at the same time, we can be manipulating the power to manage our energy and get to that stabilized flight path that we're looking at. So here we are in a rather simple 172, great visuals, I might add, that really enhance the experience of being in the attitudes that we've seen. But we've seen how we can look at angle of attack management, lift vector orientation, energy management, all just using this device. And if we introduce these principles to folks early on, it's the same kind of way that they're going to be able to apply it as they go through their career. And we can use even a limited device like this within its valid training envelope if the instructor knows how to use it within those limitations. So from EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2021, Randy Brooks with Scott Firsing. Say goodbye to everyone, Scott.
Goodbye, everybody.
And great having you on board with us to take a look at ALSIM's device here at Oshkosh. So long.
So long.
Oh, sorry. Looks like I'm on mute as well. Sorry about that. I'm back now, guys. So just going to go ahead and go through a presentation here if we can real quick. And I'm going to come back and then check in with you guys. So why don't we do that now? Can you guys hear me okay? It looks like you're muted, Randy. All right, let's go ahead and go through how APS uses the ALSIM. So we use that device as a kind of a general or generic training device to be able to train all classes of pilots and operators. So it really works well for us in how we operate it. And so what we do is we're really implementing what ICAO has put together for the upset prevention and recovery training solution. And so the nice capability of ALSIM is that it really addresses ICAO's vision of implementing UPRT. Starts with academic, can be integrated with on-aircraft training like APS implements, and then over to the simulator as well. So what we're finding here is that the ALSIM is a fantastic fixed base device that can address the challenges of upset prevention and recovery training. And then for type-specific operations, the integration of the iOS is something that we're working on with them to help them be successful with their event and their implementation of this particular device. So what we see here, for example, for the device we have in Arizona is the ALX is just a fantastic device. We actually have it built into one of our rims in our facilities. And so what ends up happening is that we're able to get in there and convert it to any one of those devices. In fact, we do the implementation on 7 different classes of airplanes. So it really is a great device for APS that does not only non-type specific training, but class specific training, and ultimately end up doing type specific training also at major air carriers. So we're really excited about that. So what we're going to do here is I don't see Randy and Scott. Looks like maybe their connection has fallen through there in AirVenture. So today we're going to leave it at that. I think it was a great video review by Scott and Randy looking at the device. They have assessed the 172 type specific simulator. And then they talked a little bit about the ALX, and I took you through a little bit of an overview there today. Okay, everybody, hope you enjoyed the event today. It's been a real pleasure coming to you live at Oshkosh AirVenture 2021, and we are looking forward to our next contact. And I believe we might have another transmission tomorrow or next week on some exciting things going on there. So take care, everybody, and we will see you the next time we get together. Take care. Bye-bye.